Welcome to my kitchen today. Today I am baking. I'm not outside. It's very cold outside today. I can see some snow flurries out in the air and it's really, really chilly. In fact, I had to run out and take some empty containers and just kind of cover with them. I tried to cover all my kind of frost tender plants. Like I have some lantanas that are still in the ground and they look like they're still alive, which is really exciting. I had some purple heart or purple queen vines that I think it's a vine. I'm not sure if it's a ground cover. So anyway, they still look like they're alive, and so I went ahead and covered them today. Ground feels kind of frozen on top. I'm sure the inside it's still, not frozen or anything, but the top seems like it's frozen. So today there's nothing I can do outside. I decided that maybe I can just stay home, relax and bake. And I haven't really done cooking video for you guys in a while. And I just thought I can show you what I'm making today. And honestly, these kind of things that I do usually, because this is like my relaxing time. I really like doing things like this when I am just relaxing. I don't really like sitting around, so I rather do something like this, and this helps me to just have that nice relaxing time. So today I'm making honey cake, which is kind of a classic cake in Armenia. It's chocolate honey cake. There's two different varieties. There is one that is just vanilla, and then we have also chocolate variety of the same, honey cake. Today I'm making the chocolate one. It has a nice chocolate glaze and layers of cake. So I have this recipe from, I don't know, a long time ago when, from my family. It's all handwritten. I really need to rewrite them. I just put them in these sleeves here, kind of clear sleeves to protect them. They're actually in Armenian, and I kind of use them this way, but I really need to redo this because I know I'm not going to lose this in one point. But this is an old family recipe, and so this cake is made of, let's see, so it's made of like 5 layers. So this cake is really interesting, and this is classic to Armenia and all other nations, like Slavic speaking nations, that it's classic for them as well. They're very familiar with them, but it's not very well known like in the Western side. And I thought maybe it would be kind of fun to introduce this really beautiful cake. So it takes a bit of a little time consuming, I should say, but there's nothing complicated about it, but it is so worthwhile. Now this cake traditionally is being made during New Year's time. It's a wintertime cake because it has cream, and it's in the summertime it's just not common to make this cake, but in the wintertime it's a great cake to make. So 5 layers, and the layers are they're not soft, they're not like cake layers, they're actually more like a cookie layers. They come up a little bit of a crisp, and then after we layer them with our custard cream, then all the cream gets absorbed into the layers, and it just makes this soft, amazing dessert. It's absolutely gorgeous with the chocolate glaze. So for this cake, what I'm going to do first, I'm going to make my custard, because custard has to chill first, and then we are going to whip butter, which I put it out to get warm into room temperature. It will be easy to be whipped with my mixer. So first I'm going to make my custard, let it chill completely. Then I'm going to whip butter, so slowly add my custard to the butter with some vanilla and some cognac. Cognac makes it amazing, and I think I still have some in a bottle left. I need to replenish my reserve, but usually I use this for my chocolate dessert, chocolate glaze, and also for this custard cream. It just brings really, really good flavor to it. So for the custard, I am using about 2.5 cups sugar, and it looks a lot, but it's really not, because this cake, you will see how big this cake gets. It's actually quite big. Here, I'll just do this, and I'll leave this maybe just a little bit. Then we have flour. This is about 6 tablespoons, I should say. I'll write the recipe down for you guys, so if you are interested to make one, please do. There's nothing complicated about this. This is just really fun. And sometimes, sometimes it's practical, I should say. It's practical to make things really fast and easy, but a lot of times it's just so rewarding to spend the day just making something really great, something nice and something that would it's just really, really good. And usually, I mean, a lot of the things you can make easy and fast, but it just doesn't turn out as good as the ones that actually take a little time. So that's my theory, where everybody is on their own, but I do love spending time and making something fun. And this cake is so big, you'll see. We will never be able to eat this much cake, but I love making this cake because I can always give away to my friends, to my neighbors, and they appreciate so much having just a little dessert, a little sweet, and it's just, I don't know, it brings me joy. I love it. I love doing stuff like that. So what I'm doing here, basically all I did is mixed the sugar with flour really, really well. Now we are going to add whole milk slowly and mix it well. Then I'm going to take this over the stove, and I have to stir this constantly until it becomes nice and thick. So then I will put this in a bowl. So I have a bowl that is already freezing in the freezer. So what I'll do is just put this right away into the frozen bowl. That way it takes less time to chill, because sometimes it takes a long time to chill. Then I'll just put them in a cold place, and hopefully, it will not take very long. Or usually I just make this custard a day ahead of time, keep them in the refrigerator, and then the following day I make my layers. Now also keep in mind that this cake always needs to be cut the following day. So it has to stay overnight, because the cake absorbs all the cream and just becomes this ice creamy, amazing goodness. Okay, so now we add our whole milk. I think I have a little bit in here I'd like to use. Okay, so now we are going over the stove, and I just basically have to stand here and stir them until it gets really nice, custardy, basically, kind of texture. So, but you have to really keep an eye on it. So I have it in a medium high at the moment. As soon as it starts getting warm or hot, I go ahead and turn it down a little bit, like a medium low, and that way. And if you feel like it's sticking, you immediately just raise them like this. That's the trick to it. Don't let it sit and burn underneath. That's the most important part. Just don't let the bottom burn. That's why we stand here and we have to stir this constantly until it gets really thick. Okay, so you can see the consistency that I achieved right here. Look at that. Look how beautiful this looks. This is our custard, and it's ready. So now what I need to do is just look at the consistency. This is how it's supposed to be. See how it's coating the bowl? See, on the sides. So this is how it should be, right here. Look how beautiful this is. Oh, this is one of my absolute favorite desserts ever. So now, there is a bowl that I already pre-chilled in a freezer. What we are going to do is Just use this one. Take the spatula and see this bowl is already pre-chilled, and it's just going to, you don't have to pre-chill your bowl, but I do it because I want to chill this custard as fast as I can, and that's going to help. Look how great this turned out. Not gorgeous? Oh, I love baking. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. See how thick this is? This is the consistency that you have to achieve for this cream. All right. So at this point, I'm going to cover this with saran wrap, and I'm going to just place this in a cold area to chill. While this is chilling, we'll just go ahead and make the layers for the cake, and I'll show you how to make the layers. Then we'll assemble everything together. Okay, you can do it this way. Another way to do it, if you don't want this to accumulate like a crust on top while it's chilling, you can always bring this saran wrap and just kind of do like that. And this will not allow to develop that kind of a skin while it's chilling. This is actually better. Okay. There we go, as French say, voila. We'll go ahead and put this to chill and we'll be back. Okay, so we are done with our cream or custard for the moment because it's not completely done, it's just cooling down. But now what I'm going to do is start with the cake part of the whole goodness. So here I have 3 eggs that I already whipped. I have 100 grams of butter. I have about 5 tablespoons of milk, it's whole milk, about 3 tablespoons or so honey. 1 cup of sugar. I need some, what is this, a baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And then what we're going to do is going to put this over the boiler. You see I have a water boiling here, so we will we'll put this bowl over the steamer and we'll just cook about 15 minutes or so. Then we'll bring it here, we'll cool it down, then we'll start mixing our flour. And I also added about 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder with this flour. So, but these are the sheets. So these are the sheets. This is where we are going to bake. We'll just look how big this cake is going to be. They're going to be, 5 sheets about this size, maybe not quite, but about like right here. And then I will show you how everything else is going. So, and they bake very quickly because they're very thin. And I'll show you the process. But my oven is already preheating about 350 in the US and 180 in European heating system. Then we'll just do this really quick, about 10-15 minutes most. We have to take it out. So all right, let's go ahead and get this started. So we have our eggs, honey, milk, sugar, 1 cup, baking soda. I think I said baking powder earlier, but baking soda, 1 teaspoon, and about 100 grams of butter. This is this butter is softened. It's been in a room temperature for a while. So here we go. This might be a little more than 100 grams, but it's okay. It's fine. All right. So we'll bring him here. And now we have to cook over the steamer for about 10-15 minutes or so. Like that. There's our bowl here. And this will take, just a little bit. And I'll show you what it will look like. It will kind of caramelize a little bit. We'll have a darker tone to it as everything starts melting and cooking. This is a little time-consuming cake, but I tell you, it is well worth it. It is well worth it. It is so good. It's just yummy goodness. Okay, so this is where we are. It's been cooking like this. George, you want to come close so you can show? So this is what it looks like. Look at the consistency right here. It's been, you know, I have been stirring for about maybe 15 to 20 minutes, just slowly, mildly, gently cooking. So now we are going to remove this pan, let it cool down for just a few minutes. See if I can get this out. Oh, this pan just wasn't. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. So this boiler I'm going to leave. So I'm going to turn it off, cover, and let it sit because we are going to use this again. When I knit this this dough with the flour and stuff until it doesn't stick to my fingers, I have to divide this in 5 sections. So then what I'm going to do is wrap each section in a plastic or saran wrap or plastic wrap, and then I'm going to place it back in a bowl, and the bowl goes right here again. I will cover the top, and I'll let it sit because one of the ingredients in that bowl, in that dough, is honey, and honey, when it gets cold, it's very difficult to work with it. So we have to keep it warm for us to open. So this is going to be really thin. So I have to work with my fingers from the very small bowl into this large, on this large cookie sheet basically. So it is important to keep it warm so I can work with it. It basically will stay more elastic because of the honey. Okay, so I'll get all of this out. All right. So now, while this is cooling down, I'm going to place aluminum foil right here on this countertop. Reason being is because as soon as I take them out of the oven, I have to right away take them out and lay them here. If I don't take them out right away, they will stick to the pan and it would be literally impossible to take them out. So the secret is taking out of the oven right away, putting it here. So because it bakes very quickly, so I have to goes into oven, literally takes it out, it comes out. While one goes in, I'm preparing the second one. It just goes very fast. This process is very quick, so I have to have it all prepared ahead of time. So I'll get my recipe book away. Would you put this away on the outside? All right, here, my aluminum foil. Okay, here. All right, so this is ready. Now, take our plastic wrap out. Okay, let's get going. Oops, I just got my spoon there. Should have not gone there. It was clean. Okay, so what's my sifter? actually. I'll get a little more. And then we're going to bring it here. Just about perfect. You see, it's really soft. It's soft, but it's not sticking to my hands, and it's very gooey because of the honey. It's awesome. Just, I love this cake so much, and maybe just because it's my childhood cake, of course. You know, I grew up with, my mom used to make this all the time, and it's a very popular cake in my part of the country, and I just thought you guys might enjoy learning something new and maybe making something for your families. It's really fun, but look how, see how soft the dough is, but it's not sticking. So this is exactly what we need to be elastic and perfect. Looks amazing. So now I'm going to divide this dough in 5 sections, into 5 sections. So I'm going to cut first, and then I will kind of measure, and I'm not really putting it like on a scale or anything. You can do that just to make sure they're all at the same size, but I just eyeball it usually. Okay, all right, so this is about good. Maybe this one's a bit smaller. And this is good. So now I'm going to wrap them in a plastic wrap. Like that. My glasses, let's see. Okay, so I have a new clean bowl. Going to place all my pastries pieces here. I will leave this one out actually. I don't know why I did that. So then I'll place this back here on a steamer, and I'll close this because I want them to stay warm. I don't want them to cool down. When it cools down, it gets very difficult to open. I won't recommend it. It's nearly impossible. So we take one. We need some olive oil because olive oil really helps. And we need some pastry brush. Okay, so I'm going to drizzle just a little bit of olive oil on this pan like that, and then just brush with our pastry brush like this. Okay. Now, keep this here. Don't do this anymore. Okay, so now the trick is opening this guy. We can't open this with the eye, but it's just easier to open it with your fingers, like this, because it has to be really thin. And you have to open it quick before it starts cooling down. And if it starts sticking to your fingers, just put some oil on your hands. It really helps. And if it tears a little bit, don't worry. Just bring them back together again. So this is the technique. I hope you guys don't look and say, oh my goodness, I can never make this, or because it's really not that hard. Okay, let me check on this guy. And just a few seconds more. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Look at this, you guys. But we have to immediately remove it. Look, I just tore it. It's okay. It's not a problem. Don't be so scared if you do that, what I just did. But try to be very gentle from all sides, very gently. Oops, I just tore it again. But let me see if I can get this off. Okay. So it's okay. This will not be a big problem here at all. Okay, so we are going to next step, and I'm going to make the cream now, but all our layers are ready. Now look, this one broke just a little bit. I mean, they are very fragile. I think I opened it a little too much, so I could, you don't have to open as thin. They are fragile, you just have to watch them. But really, I mean, the end of the day, when it breaks a little bit, it's not a big deal. You can just put them together. When you cut this cake, you won't even know that I was there. It's not a problem. So, but you can see, these are the next layers right here. So they're quite dry. You can see they almost look like dry cookies. That's, after they cool down. See how they feel very stiff and dry? Just literally, you have to handle them kind of with care a little bit. But we have 5 layers. So now I'm going to make the cream. And this is our custard. You can see how thick our custard is right here. Let me show you. See? This is what it looks like, our custard that we made. So it stayed outside, it cooled down, and now we are going to mix our butter. I have a butter that it's basically just in a room temperature, and I'll write down the recipe, the measurements for you. This is about 200 grams of butter right here. Goes into the bowl. Now we have to whip this butter until it gets really whipped and kind of turns into almost white color. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like. This is what the butter looks like. It's very pale. You see how pale this butter is? This is what it's supposed to look like. Look how pale this is. So you whip them for about, I don't know, maybe, less than 10 minutes, something like that. And it becomes this beauty right here. Then what we are doing is we are going to, a little at a time, it is very important to do just a little at a time, otherwise the butter will start separating, and we don't want that to happen. So just a little at a time, we have to blend our custard into the butter. Okay. Oops, actually this goes here, this goes here. Okay, so I went ahead and stirred our custard a little bit at a time with the butter, and it looks amazing. Look closely how amazing this looks, this cream. It almost looks like an ice cream. Not amazing? This is so good. Absolutely, absolutely good. So now I have just a little vanilla, and I don't have any measurements of vanilla or the cognac. I just do it, but I just eyeball it. Just a little vanilla, maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon, something like that, maybe just a little more. And then I have just a little cognac left, and I'm going to add just a little cognac. This is optional. If you guys don't like cognac, you don't have to use it. I love it. I think it brings amazing flavor to this cream. And I probably added about 1 teaspoon in there. So, okay. Now we are going to just mix one more time. All right, and that's all we need to do with the cream. Cream is ready, and we are ready to apply our cream to our cake, assemble the cake. All right. So when we assemble the cake, now this is a lot of cream because I because I made 2 portions. It depends. You can try them once and see how you like it. Normally, I usually try to do less cream, and it just didn't turn out as good. And the one time, this last time, I applied a little extra, and it was amazing because these layers absorb the cream so much, and they actually will get thick. After they absorb the cream, they will not stay very thin. They will actually start thickening, and so if you apply more, it really just absorbs. It becomes amazing. So I may not use all of it, and I can use that on something else, but I like to make it, I rather have more than less to not apply too thin. See, this one is broken, but it will be just fine. Okay. Look how beautiful this cream is. It's so good. It's not very sweet, but just very pleasant. We use this cream a lot in our baking. In my part of the country, most all cakes we frost with this cream, so it's very common cream to make for the cakes. And especially for the honey cake, it's definitely, this is the one. Lots of people make it with whipped cream and some other things, but this is the best way to do it, in my opinion. All right, we apply our next layer. Let's just bring this one in. Here we go. Okay, so we are coming to the final stage. Final stage is making our chocolate glaze, and look at this gorgeous cake. So I went ahead and applied all the creams in between the layers. There's 5 layers right here. Oh, this is such an amazing cake, honestly. So I wish you guys could just taste it. So now we are making chocolate glaze. So here I have 1/4 1/4 cup of just a plain cocoa powder, unsweetened cocoa powder, 1/4 cup sugar. Now what I'm doing is first I need to blend this really well together. Okay, so then I'm going to apply 1/4 cup of water, which is right here, and it's a little cocoa powder anyway because I just use for a cocoa powder. So I have to use some water into my bowl like that. So now we have to stir really well to mix all the cocoa powder and the sugar together. See the consistency, so good. I love this recipe for the chocolate glaze. I'll put all the ingredients and the measurements for you so you will have them. See how nice that looks? Okay. So now, since everything blended, I'm going to add my 1 cup of heavy cream slowly. So first I add just a little bit, mix it really well. Okay. Okay, so at this stage I'm going to put this over the stove and heat the whipped cream. So as soon as it starts warming up, I don't have to even wait for the boiling. I'm going to apply dark chocolate. Now for the dark chocolate, you can apply combination of dark chocolate with milk chocolate. It depends how you like that. This is completely up to you. I'm going to use just dark chocolate today, and I'm using, I don't know, just get a good quality chocolate. Like this one is Lindor. This is what I have today. That's what I'm going to use, but you can use anything you like. All right, so let's go. Let's get this finished. For the chocolate, I really don't know how much I'm using. Usually I'll put the measurements down, but I really like mine to be just a little thicker. I don't like too runny. I think you kind of need to eyeball it and kind of have a feel in what you like and how much you want the chocolate to be. So I'll show you how I do it. Then you can just go by taste and how you like it. Usually baking is kind of like that. To me, I get the measurements and I modify certain things. And to top it off, I'm using just a little cognac into my chocolate. It brings really good flavor. And this is completely optional. You don't have to use cognac if you don't want to. I love the flavor with the chocolate. Okay. All right, so now let me show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. Let me bring it to the light. See how it coats the spoon? It makes it not too thick and not too thin. And so now I'm just going to apply this chocolate right on top of this cake while it's warm. I could have used a little more chocolate, to be honest, since it's a little weak still, but it's not bad. I mean, it's going to be fine. Okay. And there is our chocolate honey cake. Finally, it's done. So now we have to wait until tomorrow. You don't have to cover, you don't have to do anything to it. Oops, I'm dripping chocolate everywhere. Uh-oh. To do anything to it, we don't have to cover it, we don't have to do anything. We can just let it be overnight. And tomorrow we will come back, we will cut this cake, and you can see what it's look like. This is so delicious. Okay, you guys, so today is the second day of our pastry that we made yesterday. I know it took so long. George is like, it's taking so long, and I know it is because it does. It takes a little time, but honestly, I'm so happy I made this. And every time I make this, it makes me so happy because, again, it's one of my childhood pastries, and I'm so excited to introduce you to, something new and different. So now I want to show you what it feels like when I cut this, because it should be soft, all the cream should be absorbed, and I'll show you how we cut this pastry. Let me put my glasses on. I think it would be better. Okay, so what I do first is just very shallow. I take the edge off to make it all even like that. And definitely this will not be wasted. And you can see how soft this is already. Look at that. Not cool. Oh, this is so good. Okay, now we'll take these edges a little bit to make it even. You can see very well. Like that. Okay. All right, now we'll cut right about here. See how soft it goes in so well. Okay, and then we'll take the little edge, and traditionally we cut this in diamond shapes. You can see I have lots and lots of cake to give away because I don't think we can all eat this much, but it's so good, and I really just enjoy making it, to be honest. And everybody else benefits from it. Okay. Okay, and there is our cake, and I'll put one in a plate so you can see. I'll just put one on a plate and you can see what it looks like. Okay. All right, and moment of truth. There we go. It is absolutely delicious, soft, chocolatey, just really, really, really good. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoy making stuff at the house. Sometimes I know we're all very busy, but sometimes it's really fun to take the time and make something really great. So hope you enjoyed it. Please, if you like my videos, please don't forget to subscribe them. Hope you can make this one day if you maybe for Thanksgiving or some other times. And I used to make this for Thanksgiving. I used to make our traditional pies, but I also made paklava and this cake, this honey cake, every time. So everybody loved that. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye. you.